Coming up next on SARA TV, the one and only Professor Jonathan Jansen. A key message from you. What was it that you were sharing with the crowd?
Well, a number of years ago, people would ask me to speak at different places, and they would ask me to speak about education or, funding or, land reform and so on. Now everybody asks me to speak about one thing, and that is hope. And so what I spoke about at the SARA conference was the grounds for hope, because you can speak about hope in a very, spiritual, effervescent sense, but people want to know, why should we keep our kids in schools in South Africa?
Yes.
Why should we stay and not immigrate? And so I talked about our history. I talked about our politics. I talked about our moral underground, the people who hold this country together, and that our capacity to forgive, and that despite government, there's a lot going for us if you take the long view, and that there are grounds for hope. And you saw with the audience a very positive response to that kind of message, because people want to be hopeful. Old people want it, young people want it. They want to know that things can get better. And I firmly believe that given the many times that we faced crisis and got out of it, like 1989, we will again.
Or 1899 for that matter as well.
Yeah.
And the theme for the event was limitless. And I think what you managed to do, from my perspective, watching you at a privileged place to do so, hearing your keynote, was, as you said, the benefit of the moral, or the actions of the moral underground, the people who silently get on with fixing things in the country. There's a great many of them. We have a capacity to forgive, to laugh at each other. You had the audience in the palm of your hand, sir, as well. There is hope, really, isn't there? I mean, South Africa is limitless by definition.
No, absolutely. I mean, people still send their children. You take any African country, people send their children here for education, especially for higher education. They worry when we don't do well. And so we are still a beacon of hope, for not just for people in this country, but for many people on the continent. And I'm extremely excited about the fact that every now and again, there are signs of hope. We thought with President Zuma it was over. And then there's a change of government, So I'm enormously optimistic that things will go well. And I talk to, I've worked in schools and universities all my life. I can tell you now, you go to any university in our country, sometimes the students get angry, sometimes they perform, but every single young person that I've known wants to get into a good job, wants to build a career, wants to have their families in South Africa, and wants to make the country succeed. That's what we all want. Our problem is we focus on the extremes. You focus on Aaron's Roots and AfriForum, you focus on Julius Malema and the EFF, and you think that's the country. That's not the country.
Or white and black in terms of racialism.
The truth is, the majority of the people in South Africa are in the middle, and they want the country to do well.
I'm glad you're hopeful, and you gave us all hope at the conference. Thank you for being with us on SARA TV.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right.